Welcome to the Sunday morning simulcast with Rom Wills. Very important that you know yourself. Very important that you know yourself. You know what? A lot of times we spend our time worried about other people and what they're doing. You know, how they look, how much money they're making, what they're doing in life. And that's only on the good side. Sometimes we worried about what they doing on the bad side. But a lot of times the person that we should focus on the most is ourselves. We need to know what we can do. We need to know what our issues are so we can deal with them. We need to know what we're capable of so that we can succeed in life. You have to know what your skills are, what your talents are. Now, I've talked about that several times, about knowing what your talents are, knowing what you're good at, knowing what you can do to make it and everything. That's very important. You got to know yourself. You got to know what you're capable of. You know, and that's every little thing. Every little thing. You got to know what you can eat, what you can't eat. You got to know if you in the gym, you got to know what you're capable of lifting, what you are not capable of lifting. You got to know what you're going to tolerate when you're dealing with people, what you can tolerate, what you can't tolerate, even the type of people. But you got to know how, okay, this person going to affect you this way, but this person going to affect you another way. You got to know what yourself is. The most important person in your life, quite frankly, is the person in the mirror. You got to look in the mirror and ask yourself, wait a minute, who is this person? Who is this person? A lot of people don't know themselves. They don't know what they're capable of. You know, there's a bunch of millionaires out there, a bunch of successful people who could create some great things. They don't know it. Seriously, you got some people out there, they could probably write a best-selling novel, but they don't know it. They don't try. Like I'll use myself for an example, sales. Now, I've worked a lot in sales. I didn't know I was good in sales until I actually had to sell something. I was like, wait a minute, I'm good at this. You know, I had to find out, but I was always there. You don't want to wait. There's some people who, I've heard of actors, right? Actors, let me use that for an example. Some actors who didn't start until they were older. In fact, not just actors, but many successful people. Every now and then I'll see a meme talking about some very successful, well-known people. And they didn't get started until they were in their 40s. And that's a young age. Some people didn't get started until their 40s, didn't really get anything going until they were older. They didn't know what they were going to do. But if you watch their lives beforehand, they were doing all sorts of things. But you have to know yourself. The more you know yourself, the more powerful that you become within. The more you can just focus on what you're good at. Let's say you're good at cooking. Hey, everybody got to eat, right? Like I've known some people who are very good at cooking, very, very good at cooking, but they weren't there. They didn't know themselves. And here's a little trick with that. Sometimes the things that you're best at is something that you take for granted, that you're not even thinking about. Don't get caught up in what somebody else is good at, because everybody has their own skill. Everybody has their own talent. Focus on your talent. Focus on what you can be good at. Don't worry about everybody else, And then focus on what messes with you. Every little thing. I mentioned earlier, focus on what food you can eat. Focus on that. Focus on what type of people what type of personalities you can get along with. And it's you. Don't get caught up into what the theys might want you to follow, or someone else saying, well, you should be this or that. That's not you. That's not you. You got some guys out here, they worried about, they ain't over 6 feet tall. If you're not over 6 feet, okay. You are what you are. And you are whatever you are, however you worship God. That's what you were made. What are you going to do with it? You got to work with what you got. You know, you get some lemons, hey, you got to make lemon pie, lemon meringue pie, lemon ice cream, lemonade, something. But you got to work with what you got, because whatever it is with you, that's what is important. You have to know yourself. Like, if you don't really know yourself, I'm going to tell you what, here's what I would suggest. If you don't know yourself, you don't feel like you know yourself, sit back. And just sit back, just ignore everybody, ignore what everybody is saying. Even what I'm saying. Because I've had some people, they'll say, well, Rom, I'm trying to be like you. No, you're not me, all right? Focus on what you can do. Think about it. Think about what you're good at. What do you like to do? What do you don't like to do? What have you been really good at? What has just come to you? You really think about that. A lot of times we don't get caught up in it. We caught up in so many other things that are outside of us. We don't even think about, well, hold up. That's not me. This is me. This is what I'm good at. And you know what? And even though, you know, part of success is making money, don't do something just for money. Yes, you want to make money. Do what you're good at. And because you want to do what you're happy at. You want to feel good doing it. And you never know, maybe you might create a whole industry or something based on what you are good at. Because you're the one who has to live with yourself. There's many people doing things out there and even making a lot of money. They're not happy with it. They are not happy with it. They are struggling with it. There are people dying behind doing stuff, and it might look like a great thing, but they suffering every day. They dying every day. You don't want that to be you. You want to figure out what is good for you. You want to know what you are good at. What are you good at? What do you want to do? And that's what you'll be happy at. And I've seen some people, I've seen plenty of people, you know, they might like move to a different area. They might deal with a different group of people, get into different jobs, but they're happy because they knew what they were about, what they wanted to do, what was good for them, because they looked in the mirror and said, that's who I am. Every single one of you got to do that. Every single one of you is no exceptions. You know, going through life, you want to be happy. We all want to be happy. We all want to do the things that we feel that we're good at, okay? But you have to know yourself. That's the most important thing. That's the most important thing out here. Know yourself before anything else. All right? Don't get caught up in what somebody else sees, because they don't see the full you. Because the thing about knowing yourself is you see yourself better than anybody. Nobody, even people outside of you, can't see who you really are. They can't know who you really are because they are not you. You know who you are 100%. At least if you want to know who you are. Now, if you don't want to know who you are, man, you don't have to watch this video. You don't have to apply the knowledge. But if you want to succeed in life, you need to know who you are. You need to know where you are going, you know? It's very important that you know yourself, all right? So I want y'all to really think about what I'm saying. I want you to take some time. As soon as this video is over, just take some time. Start thinking about it. If you don't know who you are now, start working on it. Looking in the mirror and start being, if you gotta be honest with anybody on this planet, it's gotta be with yourself, all right? So that's all I have for now. Keep rising to become the best version of the person that you are meant to be. The person that knows themselves, all right? That's all I have. I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.